There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott. Welcome to the Morning Steam show for Super Bowl Sunday, February 9th. Great to have you here on our special day, of course, a day we all celebrate and treat it like it's Christmas. So let's face it, great football game today with the Eagles and the Chiefs. And we're going to preview it here in just a few moments, but we're more interested in hearing what you guys have to say about Super Bowl 59 today in New Orleans with the Chiefs a 1-point favorite. The Eagles look like they never made it to favoritism. I don't know if it's going to happen today, and it proved me wrong. I thought the public would come in and make this line shift to Philadelphia, but maybe there are just enough folks out there that maybe believe that the Chiefs are a team of destiny to get that third straight Super Bowl championship with the great Patrick Mahomes. So thank you for joining me. Let's see who's here in the chat today. We'll also preview some NBA, NHL, college basketball, just a few games like there is every Super Bowl Sunday, and everything wraps up usually before anywhere close to kickoff. Kind of worry about a golf tournament finishing up and whatnot, but expect a great day today of action here. Let's say hello to the folks joining me in the chat. I'm trying to come up with some winners before the big game. Hello to James Parm. Curtis Mann is in with us today. Thank you, Curtis. Joe W. doing a great job. Johnny Walker here. Good morning, everyone. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money here on YouTube. Like it, share it, pass it around. Let them know where you found us. Yeah, and Joe says, could have been at the party last night following the UFC coverage here on Sports Money. Hope you were able to join us for the card last night, including that main event between Dricus du Plessis. He roughed up Sean Strickland, bloodied his face, broke his nose, won the fight. Dricus du Plessis having a pretty good run right now in the middleweight division with a confident victory last night. Hope you were on with me with some of my picks yesterday. Wasn't perfect, but I think in general, I was going to show one of the best cards of the day there yesterday with my premium picks over there. We had 8 wins, 3 losses, and of course there was a draw there as well yesterday, but we did have some we nailed right on the nose. In fact, we predicted both first round knockouts with my card yesterday, my premium card, one on the preliminary card, one on the main card, a couple of first round knockouts, and that's what I had on my card. So wasn't perfect, but matched it up against about 50 other entries. You'll find that I was probably a uh, top five result for me with the action there yesterday. Kind of got roughed up maybe in some of the other sports today. Was able to show maybe the slightest of profits in college basketball. A rough day for me in the NBA, and we can only split in the NHL. So also Team Steam Consensus, want to shout them out as they did get the better of me. See what happens when you come in talking a bunch of trash and then I lose to Team Steam. You guys had it right with the Dallas Mavericks over the Houston Rockets yesterday for sure. I'm sorry, other way around. I got the best of that one. It was in the college game, right, you guys, where you guys had the Carolina Hurricanes, I think is what it was, and I had Utah Hockey Club there. That's what it was. I had the Mavericks over the Rockets. Who am I kidding? I had one of them right against Team Steam Consensus, and also a ton of college basketball yesterday. We did see some pretty interesting results, certainly yesterday on the college basketball card. Maybe first and foremost there yesterday was the game involving number one Auburn losing to Florida. We had him. Someone had him in the chat. Also said, "Why not money line?" And we had Florida there plus the points in that one. Also Mississippi State over Georgia, Ole Miss over LSU, Auburn and Alabama tied for first in the SEC, 2 games ahead of Florida and Texas A&M. How about Clemson? Yeah, they got it done at Little John over Duke yesterday. Look, the guys were a little bit critical, I thought. They're on, I think it was on yesterday on the show with the guys. They were talking about Cooper Flagg, and they kind of said that Cooper Flagg, maybe not all that. I mean, he was 6 for 17 yesterday in that game, but I'm here to tell you, if you know what I mean, Cooper Flagg, hey, I'm always one to kind of, maybe say flash in the pan, prove it to me or whatever, but this kid's 18 years old, and I believe he's going to be an all NBA's type player eventually. The main event, Cooper Flagg. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he's overrated or anything. After seeing a lot of basketball in my life, when you see a guy like this come in as a young player like this, he's the real deal. But Clemson got the win, terrific fashion there yesterday. And how about Dick Vitale? Had his voice sound like me from last week, but he certainly sound great. They're 85 years old on there, and Hubie Brown just did 91 years old, retiring from broadcasting. Man, I got a few years ahead of me, hopefully, here. Syracuse in that 3 overtime game against Boston College was pretty exciting as well. So Duke now leads Louisville and Clemson by just 1 game atop the ACC. How about Kansas State getting it done over Kansas at home? 3rd straight year they can't win in Manhattan. Great job by Kansas State to get that win. Arizona did beat Texas Tech, so Arizona and Houston tied for first right now in the Big 12. There should be pretty exciting run for those 2 teams late. Michigan State rocked Oregon. It was Michigan over Indiana there. I think we got the money in there yesterday still with IU. Oh, it was close. Maybe, though, they end up as a 3.5-point dog. I think on the show, though, we might have pushed here. So no big deal, but just some of the exciting games yesterday. Butler and Providence. Butler won it by 1 point. Creighton knocked off Marquette. So Drake, of course, they won in overtime. Man, Drake, they found a way to get it done for their 10th straight win. And they have a 2-game lead now over Northern Iowa in the Missouri Valley. Jacksonville State stayed in first in Conference USA with a win there. And late night, St. Mary's and Oregon State. We had the under? Yeah, we had the under 63-49 with St. Mary's getting that win. Also, Big West, UCSD with the win over Cal Irvine yesterday. Both teams now 2-0, 10-2, 2 games ahead of uh, third place Northridge and Riverside. So UCSD, Cal Irvine will battle it out down the stretch. All right, say hello to a few more folks in the chat, and we get ready for the big day. And Jermaine, ready to fly, Eagle fly. Hello to Nuke today in the chat. Bobby Mack here as well. Nasty Nate's ready to go. And let's see what else. And Daddy Beats, hello. He had a great night last night with that action there in the UFC. Don't forget, don't sleep on that, on Zhang Weilei with the big win there in the co-main event over Tatiana Suarez. Suarez looked old and slow compared to Zhang, who looks like one of the best fighters in the world right now after that performance. Terrific strawweight title bout there with Weilei. All right, Nuke likes the Eagles today. Doubles is here. Good morning. You guys can make your Super Bowl pick or not. Thomas says he likes first half under. Doubles says he thinks Barkley's going to run all over the Chiefs. You know who I think's going to have a great day? Saquon Barkley in the Puppy Bowl. He's the favorite to win the Puppy Bowl MVP, but minus 350, that might be a little bit stiff to take Saquon Barkley. He's an obvious choice, but maybe I can recommend Max to be the Puppy Bowl MVP. He's from Team Rough, and of course, Saquon Barkley's from Team Fluff. But I think with Max, he'll kind of catch the eye of voters. He only has 3 legs. So once he gets that toy in his mouth and goes hopping along to the end zone, he's going to be a big fan favorite. He's seen his odds go down from 35-1 down to 10-1 this week. So look out for Max, the 3-legged Doberman from Las Vegas in the Puppy Bowl today. All right. Ziggy's, I don't know if all that's true. I might have made half of it up, but made for a good story. Kenneth Gainwell, you know what, Jermaine? I think I'm looking at the guy that's kind of sneaking up late here in the prop markets for me. I'd probably look to maybe get something done with Gainwell. I think the thing for me with Gainwell and his role, right, we do usually see it seems like Barkley gets one series off somewhere in there, and sometimes it has been Gainwell to get that extra work right there. Yeah, you look for other plays too, right? But when you have your change of pace back in there, usually you go to him. And I kind of like Gainwell moving up here late on some of these markets. Want to say hello to Henny joining us in the chat. We'll also take a look at those other games for today. Like I said, we'll preview them all here. I think that's our job. The Super Bowl is the easy part, it feels like, but we can go with some props as well a little bit. I think that'll be kind of the fun of it. Check out our prop show from Friday before the Super Bowl here in the live tab. We ran a show on Friday with the guys. I was in the show too, but I was in virtually, and I had a video in there that's also appeared on other channels here this week with my favorite props. So get those, check those out if you have the time. Check out my best props for Super Bowl Sunday. But like I said, I'm gonna probably do something maybe with Gainwell. He feels like kind of like my late ad guy here today. And let's see, I think that's it from you guys in the chat. You're ready to go here. I'm ready to go. We're still 9 hours away from the kickoff of Super Bowl Sunday. So one of the other things we'll do, hey, you know what? I was getting a big old cocky head in here yesterday saying, hey, look at my golfer. He's 2 strokes back, my 175 to 1 golfer. He went out and shot a 73 yesterday. So he's nowhere to be found anymore. It'll be Thomas Detry, 5-stroke lead at the Waste Management Open right now. So he's got it in his back pocket. He can get rid. I don't know. The Belgian will you'd be ready to, go to the Super Bowl party just yet, but 5-stroke lead today there. All right, and let's do the commercial and get ready to start the show. And you can get my best plays for today over at winnable.com. /Ramon. Get my best picks for the action today. In fact, they're already loaded up. I'm ready to go with the Super Bowl. I mean, got to have a little spread ready to go. And you can join me across the street. I'll be making an appearance over there, I think, with the guys today, and have some great action over there with the fellas. So join me over there across the street for the show later today with the Super Bowl. But you can get my best plays today over at winnable.com. So far, I do have loaded up my action for NBA and NHL. My premium plays are already up over there, as well as my college basketball. So check me out over at winnable.com. And it's a pretty light day today, so if you do subscribe to the one-day package, I'll tack on an extra day there for the Monday action. And also, if you are a subscriber over there, many of you, thanks everybody for signing up there yesterday. We really had a great number of sales, so I really appreciate the attention, and this is how you support me here on the channel. And I throw on a couple of extra days for everybody on there. It's not about getting my plays. Yeah, I'm out here touting my plays, get my plays and all that, but really it's just more content for you, more extra plays to see, and you supporting me here on the channel. So use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off that package. And it keeps me coming back here. I am 33-21 in the last 4 days in heavy volume college basketball. Also 16-13 last 11 days in the NBA. Was better than that before yesterday, but we'll get them today, and I'll have my Super Bowl picks in there as well. And if you don't have time to watch the whole video from the guys, if you are a subscriber, I also have my prop picks in the package, my premium package over at winnable.com. Okay, so thank you for listening to that. Really appreciate your support here. That's what keeps me coming back every day. So join Nuke and me over there as well. You can spoil it, Nuke. I'd prefer if the spoilers were on. People say they don't like spoiler alerts. Mike tells me the spoiler alert is the biggest YouTube no-no. All right. Jermaine going with Pacheco under. He doesn't like Pacheco to get the action here today, or he doesn't like him to have success. All right. I think we're on the opposite there, but I think people might know who I'm on. Let's go to the game, shall we? We're already talking about the game, so let's talk about the game. You don't need my pick here to have your opinion, but you can listen to mine here. I'll just say it right off who I'm on. I think it's been obvious all week that I'm on the Chiefs here to win this one. As someone who's bet against Tom Brady a couple of times, I don't like to be that guy and go against the champs here and what could be the first time ever seeing a team with that three-peat. Maybe there'll be some karma in there that will prevent them, but no doubt should be awesome today. The Eagles have won 15 of their last 16 games. They've gone 11-4 against the spread, and those in their last 15 games overall. In the last 6 games, the Eagles are plus 18 in turnover margin. That is that would carry you through a big regular season playoff stretch, whatever you need, right? So For the Eagles, they are 7-2 when playing away from Lincoln Financial. The Eagles also 6-1 against the spread in games with a spread of a field goal or less this season. Of course, their only loss really down the stretch here was that Week 16 game in Washington, 36-33. I think they avenged that one. For the Chiefs here, uh, they won 8 of their last 9, but the Chiefs are just 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 games. Of course, Mahomes didn't play in that last loss, but nonetheless, Kansas City's also done a pretty good job in turnover margin. Last 6 games with a +9 in turnovers. The Chiefs are 12-0 in games decided by 8 points or less. And the Chiefs, of course, in the last 5 years, 16-2 straight up in the playoffs. The Chiefs also really tough in these closely rated games with a 5-1 spread record in games with a spread of 3 points or less. The Chiefs have gone under in 6 of their last 8 games. Of course, we know the Chiefs don't have the most potent running game, and they kind of leave it to the balance, and that's what I see happening here, actually. I'm willing to say that the Chiefs will use all of their skill position players, not only top players like, Travis Kelce, certainly, maybe Xavier Worthy as well, but I think all the way down the line. I think, look, they have acquired these type of older players that were speed burners to a certain extent, and they still have that reserve tank a little bit, right? They don't need all their offensive weapons, so they need them all. But I'm saying they don't rely on one heavily, right? Even when Kelsey seemed to be having an off game, they were able to find other resources, and I think that's what you have here with the Chiefs and all those players, right? They've all kind of took their turn standing out somewhere along the line as a top player for the teams, right? From a Kareem Hunt, my guy here in this game, DeAndre Hopkins. Remember, I mean, uh, almost an afterthought kind of with the way the Chiefs lineup is. Remember, this guy was one of the top receivers just a short time ago when he was spending time with the Texans for most of his a lot of his success there and other place. But that's what I see here in this one. I think the Chiefs have multitude of weapons, and they'll use them all, even from Juju in there a little bit as well. So, uh, also, for the Eagles, I said in my video that I thought Saquon would have that game. He could have that monster game. He may get 125 yards, but they're going to need, obviously, Brown, of course, who it does seem like in some instances, right, when you're talking about the Eagles wide receiver combination, like you sometimes you get Smith with a big game and sometimes you get Brown with a big game, and do they put it ever together at the same time? It seems like, but it feels like that's what you're going to kind of need if this one does end up being a bit of a slugfest here, or I don't want to say slugfest. I'm thinking it could be a higher scoring game. Surprisingly, this thing's hanging out at 48.5 here right now. So, all right. And the Chiefs, obviously, they don't give up 100-yard rushers either, but it does feel like Saquon is ticketed for somewhere close to that prop, even if it has come down a little bit, right? You'd think that, the public would be hammering Saquon's rushing prop, but I don't know. It's kind of ticked down a little bit. Maybe it was set a little bit too high for the game itself, knowing that the Chiefs don't give up the 100-yard rusher there. So they'll have their eyes, they'll have their spies, however they can do it to slow Barkley and force the Eagles into other things. Now, Goddard is a man who's seen his numbers rise, talking about his prop numbers a little bit, and we'll see if he can achieve those. But Look, these numbers on these props are a little bit high for a game that really hasn't seen the total move higher here. Let's go to the chat now and see what you guys have in the big game today. The Chiefs have won 4 out of the last 5 meetings against the Eagles. Of course, they met in the regular season last year, and of course, in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, 38-35 in that classic game. But the Eagles beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead 21-17 last season. AFC's won 7 of the last 10 Super Bowls, and the underdog is 11-5 against the spread in the last 16. But here we are dealing with a 1-point spread. All right. See what you guys have here. I'm most interested in what you guys are doing. You could put in anything in there, props and Eagles first half here for Ziggy. And Jermaine says the Chiefs will eventually just forget about forget about the run entirely. All right. Thomas says this week, bet with your heart. And Ziggy says the Chiefs sometimes start slowly in the Super Bowl, which you wouldn't necessarily expect with a team that is so well scripted. Here's Philly Eagle Flyer. Good morning. Thomas says maybe it is an edge for Reed over Sirianni, but Sirianni's making his return also to the Super Bowl. Pretty good, pretty cool. Curtis does like the under. There's Spoons in the chat. Hello. And Thomas likes the game to go under in the first half. And let's see what we got here. Saquon, anytime touchdown. Hurts, anytime touchdown. And Hunt, anytime touchdown. Saquon to get his rushing yards. Gainwell as well. Pacheco under his rushing and receiving. And Hopkins to go over in his receiving. All right. And doubles paying respects to the late Dick Jaron, who the former coach and coordinator who passed away, but kind of a young age there, I thought. And also Jermaine likes Devontae Smith over. And talking about his rushing props in there, he's definitely smashing them. Who's going to stop Saquon Barkley? It's just the thing is, it does seem like now in some of those games, when it gets those big yardage gains and the Eagles were easily the better team, that they didn't maybe need the diversity of the offense. Sure, they got great production in there from the other stars as well, but it was very one-sided, it felt like, with Barkley. And in a game like this, I think you do need to be spread around. So I think it will be important I would say if Goddard and Brown and Smith all go under, I think that's a problem, even if Barkley goes for 125 or more. So I think they will need that balance. How about Hopkins here for a TD? I expect Hopkins. I said on my video that he would be my key player in this game. I think if anybody's numbers are too low, I think Hopkins is overlooked here in the game today. And he's the one player that I would be interested in laddering up on. Hello to Joe Alvarado as well. All right. I want to keep going with any comments that you have here. Billy Eagle Flyer says, what's he got here? Kelsey ATD over 49.5 and over 5.5. Noah Gray. I'm over on Gray for sure. And he likes Mahomes over his rushing yards. I ended up going, that's a parlay, all that. Okay. I ended up going under on Mahomes' rushing yards. I described it as if, it seems like when Mahomes, once in a while he starts lumbering down the field a little bit, but, he always runs right to the spot, right? He sticks that ball out there right over the first down marker sometimes. I think that kind of limits his yardage a little bit. He seems to get just what he needs. No doubt he could get to 30 yards or so. All right. Thank you, Spoons, for your comments here on the Super Bowl today. See, he says the Eagles got a better all-around team than the Chiefs here. All right. Thanks for the great comments here. I don't know how much deeper I can get, into it. Like I said, I got a video out there. Let you guys check it out if you want to check out some of my prop plays for the game. Also, the one that I kind of mentioned here a little bit, I'm kind of also going in on the kickers, especially Harrison Butker here. Over 1.5 is minus 150. I may go over 2.5 field goals possibly on Harrison Butker. Spoons Bet says, what color of Gatorade? Well, it's easy if you want the Chiefs. They ran with purple each of the last 2 championship seasons. So if I'm on the Chiefs, I guess I got to go with purple. And good morning to Gerardo. Got action going on right now on the pitch. I'm watching here Gitaf and Alavs. And also right now, action in Italy going on here at this point, I believe. Let's see what I got here. I was checking the scoreboard here a little bit. FA Cup also today.
Final.
Pretty decent little schedule of FA Cup games. Bundesliga underway right now as well. So Serie A, Parma leading Cagliari 1-0, and a couple more games left to go in Italy. So, all right. Jermaine says he doesn't think Butker's going to get 2 field goals. He's got him for 1 or 0 in this game. Terrell says Hurts will get a fumble rooski. How about maybe an offensive lineman scoring a touchdown or catching a pass? Some of the, crazier props out there, I guess. And, there's all kinds of goofy props, of course. I'm not really too much about that. Yeah, I was out in the Puppy Bowl there a little bit, but having some fun with that. But I don't tie too many in myself. I kind of keep it standard here. I don't want to lose track and, end up wasting any money, I guess. All right. Well, appreciate that, gang. Guess we can move on, but I don't know. Obviously, no consensus here. Didn't really even see a lot of picks. So if it's up to me, I'm on the Chiefs here in this one. And full disclosure, we talked about my appearance today across the street, and there's a little contest over there that I'm in contention of winning. There are really I control my own destiny in this contest to finish in the top 3 or 4 spots there. Probably 3 spots is what they pay. And as long as I win, I finish no worse than, I believe, 3rd or a tie for 2nd or something like that. And I have to pick the winner, though. And I can't worry about what the other folks are doing. So I could win that contest if the other folks, of course, pick the Eagles, but I'll be picking the Chiefs. So if they want to know what I'm on, here it is right now. All right. Terrell says KC will get 31. So I think he's saying 4 touchdowns and a field goal. All right. Old E, hello. Nuke says he's on the Eagles here. All right. I think Thomas is saying under there, but I'm probably I'm gonna save I'll save one pick for the premium subscribers there, but maybe I kind of hinted what I was doing with the total in the game. I think if you look at my props a little bit, also maybe you can tell which way I'm going there. Like I said, that video is on my on the video that we have here on the channel previewing the game, and of course it's on my subscription. I put the video in there last night, so Gerardo picking some games here. We're going live with our action here on the pitch. And all right, that's it from you guys. Man, not much. I want to spend more time, but I think it's clear now what I'm doing. And no consensus on the Super Bowl. It felt like for sure there. Not even a lot of opinions on the total from you guys. So, all right, it's going to be great. All right, we'll get ready to go to the NBA and the other stuff. I guess we got to cover it all. I'm ready to just wrap it all up and get ready for the game. We'll get to some of this action here in the NBA, NHL, and college basketball. Probably could just preview them all and make a pick. And yeah, Terrell there saying, what about, the other things like the halftime show? Could there, yeah, look, I don't want to go there with all the Tay-Tay. I'm a Tay-Tay fan already. You guys know I'm big on Taylor Swift. So I'm those folks that don't want to see, her, I think they should put her in a little tiny box the whole game down in the corner so I can see what's going on up there. But I think really for me, it's when you have the biggest pop star in the world, it is a bit of an attraction or a bit of a distraction. And could Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift and ride off into the sunset, retire from the game with the first ever tight end MVP award? I don't know about that. Billy Eagle Flyer says you could tease it. How about teasing it?
Final.
How about teasing the game? I'm actually on a lot of different bets. Too many to mention, too many to name. I like betting, I think there's room, even if you like both sides. You think about it and you're like, oh, I bet on the Chiefs, so I've got to take all the Chiefs props over and all the Eagles props under. That's not how football works. I'm actually on a little bit of both here and there. Some of players I'm on, right? Like I like Gainwell in the game. There are some props that I'm on some Eagles and some props that I'm off some Chiefs. I'm trying to, pick every one and have a little excitement throughout. This is a great Super Bowl game. All right, gang. Well, we got to go to the NBA. But you guys were done talking about it, so I'll be done talking about it. And I'm on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. All right, we got games leading up to the big game, and everything really wraps up by about 2 o'clock. Only the golf tournament sometimes gets a little bit caught up, but they even start that a little bit early out there to make sure that, they get off the air in time, even though, might not be their network this time around. You want to, and plus the players, they want to get to watching the game too. Sometimes they've had it go overlap into the into the Super Bowl. We don't want that. All right, and we're ready to go here with the Hornets taking on the Pistons here today. The Hornets snapped their losing streak last time out with a win over San Antonio. They come in here into this one, obviously a pretty big underdog at this point to a decent Detroit team. I think we can safely say that now, even though they haven't been perfect of late for sure. They've lost 2 of their last 3, but they were playing pretty well here over the last couple of weeks. For Detroit here, they are off of a win over Philadelphia, 125-112 last time out. This one maybe ticking up here to 225 or so, but I will mention that this is a hardcore under between these two teams this series, and these are, relatively familiar opponents, but this is pretty hardcore under between these two. I know the perception here, young teams. Charlotte is not an over team at all. In fact, they are 14-28 to the under as an underdog, and they're a substantial underdog here, no doubt about it. So, see what you might do in this one. We got a they all can be great here. We only got 3 games, so what do you have here with Charlotte taking on Detroit? 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone under. And man, that's pretty good when you're talking about, relatively familiar foes that meet frequently. So, can the Hornets stay in there today here against the Pistons? The Hornets are a pretty good team as an underdog. They're 25-14 against the spread as a dog, and Detroit is just 6-9 against the spread as a favorite. Few injuries here, but Cade Cunningham is probable in this one. And of course, the big news, I guess, revolving around this game is the fact that Mark Williams will be returned to the Hornets. The trade from the Lakers fell through last night. What happened was the Lakers failed him on his physical. A lot of people were, up in arms, damaged goods, whatever. Hey, the Lakers brought him in for a physical and said, can't do it. You got to send it back and rescind it and all that. So, also some other injuries, though, for Charlotte. Josh Green, he's out of this game. And, a couple others that have been out for a while. Nick Smith, questionable here. So, see what you have here in this one. And hey, Keandra Westmoreland, great to see you, Keandra. Way to go. Nice to see you, Fernando, on the under here. And Ziggy says you got LaMelo in there. You can go with Charlotte here in this one. They've done very well in this series. So I agree with Ziggy. That's what I'm going to do is go with the Charlotte Hornets. I think that's the way to look in this one at 10 points. Look, Detroit's done a great job this year, but I don't know if they're ready to go be 10-point favorites right now, even against the Charlotte team. It might be 9.5 at some places, but you mentioned it, the overall series here. Now, Detroit actually has won 4 of the last 5 games at home, but long-term, Charlotte's 19-7 straight up against the Pistons. I'm going to take the Charlotte Hornets plus the points here as my pick here on the morning steam. All right. Yeah, Jermaine, Mark Williams had to go back. That trade was off. What was looking like a big move for the Lakers is no good. No good. All right, we got another one coming up here with the 76ers and the Bucks today. Maybe this one will be a little bit better. This is the featured game on ABC. Got Philadelphia playing a little bit better here, of course, of late and trying to stay healthy with their guys. And we'll see if Joel Embiid will be in there today. Could be time, he might need a rest. I don't know. We know Giannis is out, so that's why the line is what it is. In fact, I've got to make the correction on the line as the 76ers are now the favorite. I think that might be the indicator that Embiid might even be in this lineup here, as Philadelphia is a 1.5 point favorite now in this game, and the total at 228.5 or so. So big shift here to the Sixers a little bit in this one. And usually when you see see a shift like this, it's usually good to go, if you know what I mean. But still, got to make the pick, got to make the handicap, see what you guys have to say. The sharps are all over Philadelphia in this game. I don't know if you could find a sharp here that wants to take the Bucks today, but take a look and see what you guys have in this one with Philadelphia here. Milwaukee has lost 5 of their last 6 games coming in to this one, but Philadelphia has also been doing some losing. They've lost a couple in a row here to Detroit and Miami, but Philadelphia now favored here. They're just 7-13 against the spread as a favorite. So we'll see what you want to do here in that one with Philadelphia and Milwaukee here. Milwaukee has failed to cover in 6 straight games coming into this one. So see what you have here with these two. If anything in the comments, let's check it out. See what you guys have to say. Good morning to Teresa. Rick Chase says the Sixers are better off without Joel Embiid in the lineup. And Paul George, get rid of him as well. And Teresa says, going to be a good day today. There's Jermaine. He's got some props here in this one. Andrew G says he's got, just get some young talent in there. Get some guys who want to play, right, Andrew? Ziggy likes the over here in this one. How can you not like the over, it seems like? Thomas likes the Sixers and the under here. Robert says, fear the deer today. So sometimes the Bucks are that team that surprises when they have their big star out of the lineup, right? And they all come through. They all kind of rally around a little bit. It's not like there's other players missing. Although Connaughton's questionable, Robbins questionable here, Yabusele probable for Philadelphia. All right. And I'm kind of one of those guys. I kind of want to take the Bucks here, but usually a move like this is pretty good to go. All right. And just a lot of dissatisfaction. If I had to make a grok recap of the chat, I would say that gamblers are disappointed with NBA players not playing in the games. That's my grok synopsis. All right. I kind of want to take the Bucks here in this role without Giannis. I think they're the type of team that does find a way sometimes. I don't like when these teams that are sorry favorites become favorites a little bit. So I think Johnny Walker says he'll take Eli Manning to make the kick of destiny. All right. So I'm going to try the Bucks here today now that they're an underdog. I don't want the Sixers. The Bucks aren't covering any spreads either. They're just 3-7 in their last 10, but I'm going to take the Bucks now as a dog. All right, and sounds like a good game here with Toronto and Houston, but both teams are actually struggling here kind of big time right now. Toronto's lost 3 straight. Houston's on a losing streak right now, and you got to be scratching your head what is going on with Houston, and is this something to worry about moving forward? Have they been playing out of their minds? Is it the Fred VanVleet chat fade here a little bit? Now you do have also for Toronto, R.J. Barrett out of this game. So you have, 2 impact players out of this game, respectively, for these teams coming in. So that's how you'll have to attack it here with these 2. Now, this has been a pretty solid over series for sure. The teams meet just twice a year, but 7 of the last 8 meetings here in Houston have gone over, and 6 of the last 7 meetings overall, with both locales over the last 3.5 years have gone over. So these 2 teams, solid overs when they face one another. Toronto, though, they really struggle on these road trips. It seems like, I think that's part of the problem here, but they did get the money last time out against OKC as a 19-point dog. Even we had to take 19 points with Toronto. Toronto's covered the spread in 4 straight games right now on the road. It's at home where they're kind of struggling a little bit. So let's see what you have here. Toronto's gone over in 4 straight games coming in. And if you look at Toronto overall, 25-20 to the over as an underdog. See if the chat has anything in this one with Kiadra like the Bucks back on that other game. All right. Toronto and under here for Thomas. Ziggy likes Toronto. Kiadra likes Raptors and over. Jermaine's got some prop action here. Cash Kane says Rockets money line, take the under. And Teresa says Houston money line here. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to be on the total here in this one. Get my premium plays. I'm on some premiums today with our short card, so give me the over here in this one with the Raptors and the Rockets today. And that's it for the NBA. Wow. Terrell says Rockets will win, but they won't cover that big number. All right, we got 2 on the ice to look at tonight. Today, I should say, with Utah on the road here against Washington. Now, we just saw Utah, of course, play there in that last game, and they got blown out in that last road game. 6-3, was it? 7-3. 7-3 last night in that game. I should say yesterday day was the early game, but they ended up losing that game 7-3. Team Steam consensus had Carolina. I had Utah. So I'm not coming back, I don't think, on Utah today. I don't think. After that, playing on the back-to-back here and playing another real good team. It feels like they have been on the short end of some of these scores on the road for sure. Usually they can keep it within a goal, but will they today against the Caps in this one? Let's see what you guys have here. Utah taking on Washington today. Washington's had a couple of nights off waiting for this one. Let's see what's going on with the goalies as well. I'm showing Thompson in there and Ingram, but we'll see if they, see what the Capitals end up doing here in goal. I'm sure they could play the backup, but goalie computers seems like it's hung here. There we go. Yeah, probably Thompson and Ingram. Logan Thompson, just 24-2 this season, of course. 24-2-4 with a 2.25 goals against. Connor Ingram has a 3.3 goals against coming in to this one. Utah had won 2 in a row before that loss to Carolina. Washington has won their last 2 games against Florida and against Philadelphia. These 2 teams did meet back in November, and it was 6-2 in favor of Washington. They won the game on the road against Utah in spectacular fashion, I guess. All right, so take a look at what you guys have in this one with Utah Hockey Club taking on Washington. Go to the chat here. Utah's gone under in 5 straight games. 5 straight meetings between these 2 teams have gone under, and Carolina's won. Let's see. Oh, let me get that. I think I have that incorrect. Let me get this straight. 3 straight meetings have gone over. 3 straight meetings have gone over between these 2 teams. And Utah's actually gone under in 3 of their last 4 games. It's Washington that's gone over in 4 straight. Sorry about that, fam. Okay, Kiadra likes Washington here on the money line. Jermaine likes the Caps. Lay it. Cash Kane will take it with the Utah Hockey Club. All right. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate you. I think he's taken off, says we're not going to get any consensus out of this card today. All right, Philly Eagle Flyer, Caps money line, puck line, team total over 3.5, Utah team total under 2.5, Caps puck line for Doge. Hello. Teresa might take Washington to keep it rolling. Ziggy likes the under here. Doge says maybe Thompson will play a little fired up, getting passed over. I think we're getting a little bit of I thought we had some breaking news. We'll just hold off, though, here a little bit. Teresa likes it 5-2, Washington. All right. I'm going to end up, let's see here. I think I'm going to pivot to the total here in this one with Utah and Washington, and I'll take the under here at 5.5. I think for me, in general, you look at Washington right now. They've been playing what did I say? 3 straight overs there, but before that, 4 straight overs. But before that, they were in a pretty big crush of unders. Utah is 9-20 to the under as an underdog. So I'm going to end up here on the under. Joe T, good morning and hello. Also, next up, Lightning and Canadiens here. Whoops. Let me get that right. I think I just typed in the same thing twice there. All right, Lightning and Canadiens with Dobas in there today, the young goaltender for Montreal. They're still going to be a pretty big underdog here, but whoops, there we go. There we go. Lightning at the Canadiens here in this one with the Lightning favorite, $1.65 on the road right now. Could be down a little bit here at some spots. $1.62 at DraftKings, but $1.70 at Bovada here. So we'll see. We did see it will be Davis in goal. That news did just come out within the last few minutes, but that's what we were expecting here in this one. How will the young goaltender do? Will he keep up his hot string here a little bit? He's been absolutely terrific here of late as a we got a back-to-back, of course, Montreal yesterday. We did have the premium pick winner on the under 4-0, but we went with Montreal here on the show. Yesterday's picks were a little bit of a far cry from that 11-1 performance I had on Friday when in the NBA and NHL combined, although we did have some winners on the card here yesterday, including premium pick winner Philadelphia and Pittsburgh under. But they were few and far between, it felt like, for me on the ice. I had a rough time. Toronto and Vancouver game total under was a winner here on the show. We had the Minnesota Wild as a premium pick winner. And also late night, Anaheim and Kings. We did have the under on the morning's team yesterday. And also we did have the Anaheim Ducks on the puck line as our premium pick winner. But was a subpar day, it felt like, on the ice there a little bit. Anyways, as we get ready for our last 2 games here on the ice before the Four Nations break, and Dobas has actually come back down to earth here a little bit of late. Lost 3 straight, going 0-2-1, and just an 88.5% save percentage after he got off to that hot start. So hopefully it wasn't a fluke there a little bit, but still, this is your backup goaltender at this time. So see what you have in this one with Montreal and taking on Tampa Bay. For the Lightning here in this one, let's see. They come in 30-20-4. They've won 3 straight. Montreal has dropped a couple in a row for Tampa Bay. They beat Detroit. They beat Ottawa twice coming in. They are 24-14 as a favorite. Montreal 3-6-1 overall in their last 10 games, coming in off of losses to New Jersey and to LA. Might even be, I guess that's about right. 3-6-1. Boy, they only have the win over San Jose, and they've been back to struggling a little bit. So go in the chat here, see what you guys have in this one. Montreal usually does a pretty good job on the puck line on some of these games, but you have to lay it pretty good here at this time, probably up to $1.75 on the puck line. So, all right. I'm taking the under in this one. I'll just let you know right now. Habs money line here for Philly Eagle Flyer. Ziggy's on the Canadiens on the puck line here. Cash Kane back on the point bandwagon. He's been hitting that pretty good, I think. And who are we going to get? Who are we going to get in goal for the Lightning? Could be Vasilevsky, I'm thinking here. Kiadra says Montreal on the puck line. Cash Kane with more prop there. And Teresa says Tampa Bay can come out the winner. All right. I'm on the under here with Montreal and Tampa Bay. Guess that's it in hockey. And we'll move to the NBA. The college basketball. It's a pretty good card. We'll give a pick in every game, I think, here. I think we could do that today.
Play.
We're only an hour into the show, and we're almost done. All right. Let's go to college basketball. Start at the top of the board.
Oops. Final.
Gerardo said he took Bochum here, and they got that win. Jermaine went with Montreal puck line. I think I could turn off the German game over here then, huh? Put on another match. All right. Good morning to R. Tomps. Thank you for everything. All right, here we go. Let's go to the college baskets here. Take a look at this one with Rutgers against Maryland. How about this? All right. Rutgers comes in 12-11. They've won 2 out of their last 3 coming in. They're 5-7 in the Big Ten overall. They've covered 6 of their last 7 games overall right now, and they've won 2 of their last 3 games on the road. Yeah, 2 of their last 3. They beat Northwestern last time out on the road. They've, like I said, covered 4 straight here. Maryland 7-5 in the Big Ten right now, and 17-6 overall. So far, the Terps as a home favorite, they are just 3-2 against the spread in Big Ten play right now. And Maryland here on a bit of a roll. They did lose to Ohio State last time on the road. Didn't get the money as Ohio State came from way back to win for us. That stopped Maryland's 4-game winning streak, but Maryland still going to be a pretty big favorite here against Rutgers. They are 9-7 against the spread at home, but Rutgers is 8-5 against the spread as an underdog. Now, Rutgers, impressive young team. They've had a little bit of trouble keeping one of their stars healthy, but they feel healthy here, really, and it's Maryland that has a couple of injuries, I think, coming into this one. So I like Rutgers to stay in this game. I know a lot of the talking heads so far have been Maryland double digits all the way. Rutgers is, kind of feeling it here a little bit, I think. But still, they've got, the young stars. And obviously they're not going to be as, deep as Maryland here right now. I get that. But, when you got Bailey, you got Harper, I know I'm probably just square, just pointing to those guys every time. But here's Cash Kane, Maryland money line and over for a little parlay action. Teresa's got her plays ready to go. Tremaine says, cover them all, Ramon. We've only got 8 games and we're way ahead of schedule here. So Maryland has to be upset. They have to be upset or they have to be upset. Tremaine says he'll take Rutgers here. Kiadra says Maryland first half. Thank you, Ziggy. Enjoy the Super Bowl today. I'm going to take Rutgers here. I feel like I'm in the minority a little bit, but I'm going to take Rutgers. Jake's taking them in the first half. Next up, George Washington and St. Bonaventure coming in. You have a pretty good game here. 15-8, George Washington. 17-7, St. Bonaventure. Of course, St. Bonaventure, they're still one of the best spread teams around at 15-8. They've given some back here of late. They're 11-5, though, against the spread as a favorite. George Washington, just 2-6 against the spread on the road. And not the best situation necessarily for them coming in, but Nonetheless, see what you guys have here in this one with Bonaventure and G-Dub. This is the first meeting of the season between the two teams. George Washington's coming in off of a loss to George Mason and a loss to LaSalle. Meanwhile, Bonaventure lost to Loyola of Illinois last time out, but they beat Fordham and Dayton before that as part of their great spread run. Actually, they failed against Fordham. They only won by 2 as an 11-point favorite. So let's see what you have here in this one with George Washington and St. Bonaventure. George Washington is 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games overall. And I think I'm going to end up here taking another underdog plus the points with G-Dub on the road. But let's get your comments in the chat and see what you have. All right, Jermaine says, as a clean, I got Bonaventure here as a pretty clean bill of health. Curtis is going under. Uh-oh, am I stuck here, you guys? Am I on the air? Curtis is going under here. Kiadra is on the under here. So is Teresa. Man, that's a lot. That's almost... I know that Thomas left already, but that feels like a consensus right there. 3 straight unders with Curtis, Kiadra, and Teresa. Wow. Okay, Jermaine says, yeah, maybe I was buffering there a little bit, huh? Kiadra also liking George Washington with me. I'll take George Washington. Boy, I don't want to veto. Thomas left, but man, here's Jermaine on the under as well. Feels like you guys are on the under. I don't know if we'll get 2 consensus plays, and I don't even know if I agree with you guys, but I have to think that the chat is on the under in this game as a consensus play. I don't see anybody on the over, and I see 4 votes on the under. So I won't vote because I think I like the other side, but I want to try to get a consensus play here, consensus parlay at least. All right, and Teresa like George Washington as well. All right. Now here's Xavier and Villanova. Here in this one, we got a Big East action here with 14-9 Xavier. Villanova comes in with a record of 13-10 in this one. Villanova just 6-6 in the Big East. 6-6 in the Big East. Xavier is 6-6 in the Big East as well. Xavier, though, just 2-3 in conference play as an underdog so far. They're struggling in close games, just 4-7 in games decided by 6 points or less, but Xavier's won 5 of their last 7 overall, and Villanova's lost 5 of their last 7 overall right now. Villanova's 3-3 against the spread as a home favorite in conference play, and they're also struggling in those closely rated games with just a 2-6 record in their last 8 games decided by 7 points or less. These teams did meet back on January 14th, and Xavier won 69-63, but Villanova got the money as a 7-point dog. Villanova led that game at halftime by 10 points. So, all right, let's see what you have here maybe in this one with Xavier and Villanova. And this is a series that definitely has seen its share of unders, believe it or not, when these two teams have met. 8 of the last 9 meetings have gone under between these two teams. Xavier also has gone under in 9 of their last 12 games overall. Villanova has won 11 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams in Philly. But again, Villanova struggling here a little bit. Recent losses here to Creighton, Marquette, and Georgetown. They did win and cover against DePaul last time out. For Xavier, they did beat Georgetown last time out, but did fail to cover the spread. But they did have some wins and covers here recently against Connecticut and against Marquette. All right, here we go. And Rick J got a little reggae nation going on, reggaeton in the chat. Villanova to get right here in this one. Xavier's the better team, but Villanova will roll here and get this one at least on the money line. Daddy Beat says Villanova money line and
Final.
over. I'm taking the under in this one. I'm sticking by that series history a little bit right now with 8 of the last 9 meetings going under. Villanova's been an over team right now, particularly as a favorite. They're 10-5-1 to the over as a favorite, but I'm taking the under in this one. Tulane is taking on Memphis. This should be a good one. Memphis comes in 14-9. I'm sorry, 19-4. Villanova, actually Temple comes in 14-9. Memphis comes in 19-4. So no wonder it's easy to screw it up by me just looking at it. But for me in this one, taking a look here at Temple, they're coming in 6-4 in conference play, so they've done a pretty good job here. Memphis ranked 17th now, 9-1 in conference play. They've won 6 straight, although they went just 2-4 against the spread in those games. And here they're laying another big number for Temple. They are. They've gone to overtime in 3 straight games, actually. I don't know if that might be a little bit of a factor for you. And they've had, days off here for sure, but they lost to USF 191, beat ECU 98-94, and beat Charlotte 90-89. But 3 straight overtime games right now for Temple coming in. They actually defeated Memphis, remember, back on January 16th as Temple won 88-81 as a 7-point underdog at home. They really dominated the boards in that game. So that might be something that could easily transcend on the road as well. They out-rebounded Memphis in that game 49-25 for their first win over the Tigers in the last 5 meetings. Memphis has, let's see here, 1-4 against the spread as a conference home favorite so far this season. So I'm going to end up on Memphis here. I got to take these points, actually. They're almost a 2-1 rebounding edge in that last game. All right, here we go with Jermaine says, take the Owls. Teresa's on the Owls here as well, on the money line.
Final.
How about that? And Memphis usually starts slow, Rick says. Take Temple first half. Maybe then Memphis money line. Jermaine says this total's going up, and why wouldn't it, right? It feels like this one could see some points. It feels like to me, even though there is some trends for Temple long term. Right now, it's all over city for Temple. They've gone over in 10? Is it 10 straight games right now? They've gone over. See if I can get that, man. They've been going over like nobody's business. Five straight on the road for Temple. 9-2 to the over as an underdog, and Memphis is 7-4 to the over at home. All right, Kiadra says Temple to get the back door in the first half. Temple covers. Terrell not. Oh, well. R. Thompson Temple here. You guys are all over Hardaway a little bit. Johnny says, give me Temple. Fernando's on the under here. And you guys are just having a rough time with. Come on, guys. They're ranked 17th in the country. They have 4 losses. This is Memphis we're talking about. Now, granted, Keith Lee isn't, walking through that door, but pretty good team here. They're on a long winning streak. I get it. They've had some trouble covering some spreads here of late, particularly as a favorite, just a 6-10 record. So, hey, Bet Lil in the chat. Nice to see Bet Lil in there. Cool. All right, I'll take a Temple here in this one. All right, we got 4 more. We're going to make it through the card here. Wichita State taking on South Florida in this one. Pretty decent matchup here with South Florida, 1-point favorite or so. And the total here is 148 coming in. So I know there's going to be a lot of heavy support, it feels like, for South Florida out there. They've won 2 of their last 3. Wichita did just snap their losing streak with a win over Charlotte, 66-58, as a 2-point favorite. But Wichita is 7-12 against the spread right now. USF 8-15 against the spread. So both teams pretty weak against the number for sure. USF also 4-9 against the number as a favorite, but should be noted that they are 9-2 straight up at home, and you're dealing with a game that's pretty much a pick'em here. Meanwhile, Wichita is 2-5 straight up on the road. These two teams met just about a month ago, and it was 91-72. USF with the blowout win at Wichita. They were getting 8.5 points in that game. So let's see what you have here in this one. It does feel like, they're just, I don't know, throwing the line out there and seeing if it sticks. Wichita has owned the series, no doubt about it. They've won 8 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams. But South Florida, soccer like 3-5-2 against the spread their last 10 games against Wichita. So in those games, Wichita 8-2 straight up, but just 5-3-2 against the spread. I don't know if that's true indicator of where the programs are or where they have been, but let's see what you have here with Wichita State and South Florida. And Daddy Beats likes Wichita State here. Jermaine likes the over, I think, in this one. Our Tomps likes the over here. And Teresa likes Wichita. Boy, I'm so happy to have a great female presence in our chat. And here's Wichita money line for Jake. All right. Well, even though I do, our Tom says add the over, but I'm going with the under. We usually agree, but widely reported steam did come in on the under here. I think if you look at these two teams in general, you do have it USF 4-9 to the under as a favorite. Wichita 2-4 to the under as a dog. So I'm going to end up on the under.
Final.
Next up is one of the features, if not the featured game, it feels like, of the day here with Ohio State taking on Nebraska. You got the Bucks 14-9 coming in. Nebraska winners of 3 straight, 15-8. Coming into this one. So Ohio State's been on a roll. Yes, they lost to Illinois a couple games back, but they came back and beat Maryland with that great comeback. They've been looking pretty strong here right now, but Nebraska's won 3 straight over Washington and Oregon. Remember, those were on the road, and they also beat Illinois. Nebraska's 9-5 against the spread as a favorite coming into this one. They're just 5-7 in Big Ten play. Ohio State 6-6. These two teams kind of in the mid pack right now. Buckeyes are 3-2 against the spread as a road dog in conference play for Nebraska here. Man, they've been running up some points for sure. They're just 2-2 against the spread at home in conference play. Nebraska's actually won 3 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams. See what you have here in this one. Ohio State taking on Nebraska. I'm kind of leaning toward the total myself. Ohio State is 3-6 to the under as an underdog. So see what you have here in this one with Nebraska and Ohio State. Ohio State's won 6 of the last 8 years here in Lincoln, but Nebraska doesn't lose at home too often. They are 9-2 already this season at home. They're also 12-2 straight up as a favorite. And Nebraska's covered 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. All right, let's see what we got here with this one. We've got, I think Jermaine started us off with OSU money line. Rick J says, could it be a letdown spot for Ohio State after that needing all that energy to come back against Maryland, maybe? Curtis going Nebraska and under. And our Tom likes the under here as well. So I better I better go with the under here. That's where I was already headed. So give me the under with Ohio State and Nebraska. Ohio State is 3-6 to the under as a dog. Robert likes the under as well. Jake Dye on Nebraska. Terrell may be going with Nebraska. And Irish King says it's repeat day. He's talking about the Chiefs. All right. Couple more games here in college ball. We got Arizona State and Oklahoma State. Arizona State 12-10. Oklahoma State 11-11. These two teams mired in 500 land. It straight up, but not in conference play. It's even, it's been a disaster for both these teams so far in the Big 12. Arizona State 3-8 so far this season. Oklahoma State 3-8 so far this season in conference play. ASU's lost 7 of their last 9 games overall, including their last 2 losses to KSU and to Arizona. For Oklahoma State, they are coming off of a loss to Houston, but they easily got the number as a 21.5-point dog, and they also covered against Utah in a win 81-72 at home. They beat the Utes. See what you have here in this one. Oklahoma State's lost 4 of their last 5 games overall, and they are just 2-11 against top 100 teams, which would be Arizona State. So let's see what you have here in this one. Like I said, Arizona State not playing great either, but they are 7-0 against teams that are outside of the top 100, which I think if you look at those metric sites, that's where you'd find Oklahoma State right now. So, I don't know if you guys, use those rating sites such as Massey Ratings or KenPom, but like I said, if you look at it on the surface, you have a team in Arizona State that is 7-0 against teams that are outside of the top 100. Oklahoma State probably right there. If you look at most of them, they're between 100 and 120. It feels like in the 4 major rankings that I bought, the public rankings. I mean, I have my own, but I certainly look at them all. And for Oklahoma State, they are 2-11 against teams that are inside the top 100. And certainly ASU, even though they're struggling, they're probably at least top 75, if not higher, maybe top 65 or 60. So, who I'm on in this case. I got to take Arizona State. The widely reported steam did come in on the Sun Devils here. In fact, I think this game actually could be rated Arizona State -1 right now. And let me flip-flop it. There we go. All right. Get comments from you guys here. Sports money is money, says Justin. Jake Dye, Oklahoma State, and the over here. Jermaine says, give me ASU. Rick J says ASU's been better in the first half. It's great to have Rick J Sports Plays here. Robert McCormick on Arizona State. And I mean, after a while, Rick, it just has to be, it's like all these things that always happens to Hurley, right? After a while, it's always Hurley, right? Terrell says you got to get winning early. And Teresa ready to go. Thank you, Teresa. She's on ASU money lines. So I'm on ASU as well. One last game is Massachusetts taking on LaSalle. Here in this one, both teams are coming off of a loss. UMass lost to St. Louis last time out. At home, LaSalle, they lost at VCU big time by 30 points as a 19.5-point dog. UMass is 6-2 against the spread. On the road this season, LaSalle's 7-4 against the spread. At home, they've gone 9-2 straight up overall. Right now, UMass is a 1-point favorite. It was a pick'em, so should be noted. Now, granted, they're just a 1-point favorite, but still, LaSalle is 4-8 straight up as an underdog. But again, closely rated game here, and like I said, LaSalle still 9-2 straight up at home. I think that might be the determining factor here for me. LaSalle did win the meeting here last year, 82-81, as a 6-point underdog. The team's already played this season, and UMass smoked LaSalle at home 82-60 as a 3.5-point favorite. Can LaSalle return the favor here, though, after that bludgeoning? All right, see if you guys like this one. It's our last game. 5 straight meetings between these two teams here have gone over. 9 of the last 11 meetings between the two teams have gone over as well. And if you look at the two teams right now, UMass 7-4 to the over as a favorite. So I'm going to take the over here in this one with Massachusetts and LaSalle. I kind of lean to LaSalle, but I think my favorite play in this game is the over. It's a little bit high. I was considering it for a premium, but it went up to it's actually 153 right now at some of the square books. So let me at least update that. If I'm going to go with the over, we better put a tough line up there. All right. Jermaine says, give me LaSalle. I'm always going with my Philly teams, he says. Justin says, give me LaSalle. Teresa says, give me an ugly game. And Nate says, UMass, smash. UMass did take the steam in this one, and that took them to the favorite. So give me the over in this one. I think the morning steam show is over, and I don't know if we ended up with another consensus. Darn it. Oh, well, no consensus drawing today, but it's Super Bowl Sunday, so. All right, check us out over at winnable.com. This is where you can get my best plays. Right now, I have up at winnable.com my picks for Super Bowl Sunday. I already told you I'm on the Chiefs, but you can also get my plays over there. Let me see if I can play this thing here. Let me do this here real quick. I know I had this is let me run my props video here. I know it was on the show the other night, but I think we can do that real quick on the way out of here, if you don't mind. And this will be a nice little video. We ran on the show on Friday night. I made this video of my favorite props. Hope you'll enjoy it. And I realized I could just do this instead of sending everybody over there. It is the Super Bowl after all. So let's go ahead and I think we could take a look at this and run the. Oh boy, let's see if I can. That looks a little better here. So let's go with the my prop video here. I think we can hear this. My favorite ramp up on Sunday is on DeAndre Hopkins. I'm taking Hopkins over 24.5 yards at plus 195. While I think this number is close to his probable projection, I think D-Hop is the type of player that you want to have this ramp up on in this big game. We know his best days are gone, but right now, Hopkins has looked good, and I've got him to get over 24.5 receiving yards. I believe, like most, that Saquon Barkley is set for a huge game, and I'll take him as my other ramp-up player on Sunday. I like Barkley over 124.5 rushing yards at plus 110. Next up is Isaiah Pacheco. I've got Pacheco to go over 29.5 rushing and receiving yards. He had 7 touches versus Buffalo. He's fully recovered from that injury, and he had 19 carries for 89 yards in the game last season against the Eagles. I think Pacheco is an overlooked player in Sunday's game, and I'll take him over 29.5 rushing and receiving yards. I'm taking Samaje Perine over 7.5 receiving yards. Perine's gone over this number in 9 of his last 10 games, and with just a couple of receptions, I think Perine easily gets over 7.5 receiving yards. I'm taking over 6.5 receiving yards with Kareem Hunt. He's live to get this with just 1 reception, but add a second reception and Hunt is there at this reasonable number. He could get twice this many yards. I'm going over 12.5 receiving yards with Noah Gray. I think the Chiefs will use all of their regular offensive players for some production along the line. And I think Gray could get 2 catches and over 12.5 receiving yards. I have Patrick Mahomes under 24.5 completions. I think Mahomes is going to finish closer to 20 completions in this game. And I like him under 29.5 rushing yards. Mahomes goes just as far as need be when running with the football, just getting the ball across the line. I don't think he has any breakaway potential. I'm taking him under 29.5 rushing yards. I'm going under 40.5 receiving yards with Hollywood Brown. Brown seems to be ticketed with short passes just beyond the line of scrimmage, and I don't see him getting away in this one. I'm going to go under 40.5 with Hollywood Brown. I'm going under with Jalen Hurts in the Eagles passing game on Sunday. I have Hurts under 18.5 passing completions, and I've got Hurts under 213.5 passing yards. I think the workload for Barkley will cost the rest of the Eagles' offense to suffer production-wise. I'm going under with A.J. Brown at 70.5 receiving yards. He torched Washington twice, but struggled against the Packers and the Rams, and I think he'll get more likely around 55 yards. I'm taking Dallas Goedert under 51.5 receiving yards. I think Goddard will get the production, but will fall short of this yardage total. I've got him about 10 yards less, so I'm taking the under at 51.5 receiving yards. All right, gang, so there's a few more props for you, and you can rewind them, you can fade it, tail it, whatever you want. Enjoy the game today. Appreciate all of you. Make sure you can check out my plays over, as I said, at winnable.com over there. Like I said, there's games starting here in about an hour and 15 minutes in college basketball. We previewed them all, but I have my best plays on those games. If you want to pick them up over there, over at winnable.com. Really appreciate it if you do. That's how you support me here on the channel. If you get 1 month worth of plays, you get a lot of plays, man. I send out a couple of packages every day in the major sports, and I'm a high volume player, so you don't have to play them all, but you're always going to know what I'm on when you subscribe to my picks over at winnable.com and use that promo code. It comes out to about 50 cents a day. So, hey, if this show is worth 50 cents to you, why not put a little pizza? Hey, I'll tell you what, everybody says, oh, I'll put a little pizza money on this. Well, you know what? I'll put my pizza money on my pizza. Join me over at winnable.com and help me get some pizza for the game today. Maybe we'll win those plays. Maybe I'll win that pool. Good luck to all those other guys I'm up against there over across the street. And all I got to do is pick the winner, and I'm cashing. And if they go the other way, maybe I'll win the big prize. So, all right, appreciate it, everybody. Thank you for joining me. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. with more Morning Steam. We'll rehash it all and see what went down in Super Bowl 59. Enjoy the game today, and don't forget, join me. I'll be there across the street on the Super Bowl companion show over there. I'll probably just sit there and watch the game and let everybody do their props. I'll have a few props up there. You just saw a bunch of them, but I'll be on a few more. I'm already firing away on my Vegas apps here today as well. So not only on some of the offshores, but also on some of the apps here, betting the games. All right, everyone, appreciate it. Thank you, everybody in the chat here today. A really great support. Fernando says, why not some tacos? Thank you to everyone. All right, we're getting ready to go with Super Bowl 59. Enjoy the game. Let's hope it lives up to the expectations, the hype, and the spread, right? If we get a 1-point game with that total of 49, man, it's going to be a good one. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Can't escape from the team, call the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money back with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.